Today we're checking in on all things Dak Prescott and contract related. Before we get going, and I'll break down all these options here, what do you want to do with Dak Prescott? P for pay him right now, extend his contract. D for dump him, move on, get somebody else in there, or just full on tank. Or N for do nothing, ride it out, give him the prove it year. If you want to wait until you see how I break it down, that's fine too. You'll have the chance at the end of the video to vote as well. But if you have your thought in your mind already made up, go vote in the comments right now. As I'm sure all of you know, Dak Prescott is in the final year of his contract. He has a cap hit this year that is structured to be $59.46 million, which is not a number you ever want to have your quarterback counting for you, especially if he's on the books. The Cowboys reportedly plan and want to extend him this offseason, which we've seen things not always go swimmingly from that perspective. Now, the sticker shock of a Dak extension is very real, and I understand it. We are not even 4 years removed from Dak Prescott being the highest paid quarterback in the NFL, blah, 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 and he is now tied for 10th in that, and he has not yet made $40 million on the cap in a year that he's played for Dallas yet. Joe Burrow is now at $55 million. It's gone up by $15 million in that time frame because the salary cap, as we got into, has also skyrocketed. The highest paid guaranteed money for quarterbacks has also gone up. Although you see some of those 5-year deals, Dak took a 4-year deal, and then it's kind of back to 5 years deals, by the way. The numbers are a little bit higher for some of those longer deals because they're just under contract, under team control for a little bit longer from that perspective, which is very important to consider and to remember as we sit in this stage for the Dallas Cowboys. I know there is sticker shock. I totally get there are concerns and everything, and I am happy to acknowledge them, but we have to make a decision. And by we, I mean the Cowboys. They should be able to by now. It has been more than long enough to know what you have in your quarterback. To know that he is a top 10 quarterback. He gets blamed for the way things have ended. He gets credit for the way things have gone too. You should know your answer. Whether that is rebuild or go be aggressive with him, that is the route this team needs to be considering at this stage. They cannot just, as far as I'm concerned, do nothing. I think that's a bad idea for the Cowboys. I think your real options are one of these two. So what would you do? Do you want to win now? Which, as we'll get into, I think is one path at quarterback. Or do you want to rebuild, which opens up all the avenues at quarterback? Vote for me in the comments. W for win now, R for rebuild. I am fine with both paths. There's a lot more risk involved with one of them, but I am fine with both paths. And if the goal is to win right now, to be clear, your best and most likely path is still Dak Prescott by a massive margin. Your replacement options, before we get into the money, the replacement options, your realistic quarterback options are J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, who's the same age as Trey Lance is, Michael Penix, who, if we're worried about Dak's injuries, he's had 4 season-ending ones. Neither guy is better than Dak Prescott is right now. And you're still eating a ton of money for Dak, by the way. Your current NFL player, free agent / trade targets are Russell Wilson, who's worse than Dak. Kirk Cousins, who's not that far behind Dak, also going to command a tremendous amount of money and a bidding war because he's going to be a free agent and come off torn Achilles. And then backup caliber guys, Ryan Tannehill, Jacoby Brissett, Gardner Minshew, and mystery box Justin Fields. He could be anything. Because it's been 3 years and he's still like showing flashes only, and he's definitely a top 32 quarterback, but he's not top 10, and you're not getting any better at next year's spot with Fields in there. Your internal options are, Trey Lance is a decent rebuild quarterback option, but he ain't better right now, and Cooper Rush certainly is not one of those options. There's also the money part, right? If you move on from Dak Prescott before June 1st, you're incurring a $61.92 million dead cap hit, trade or cut. So good luck winning with that for a year. You're not going to win a bidding war, and you're not going to try to pay $75, $78 million a quarterback. It's not a viable outcome to get worse at the spot. You could post June 1st him, which would leave $25.4 million in dead cap, so not nearly as bad as it is now. Also incurs $36 million in dead cap in 2025, so you're still kind of paying your franchise quarterback for 2 years, even though he's not on there. And if you just restructure Dak Prescott only and go the kick the can down the line road, you leave around $58 million in dead money in 2025. You cannot tag him, and your best case scenario is you win the Super Bowl, you give Dak all the money he wants, and you hope he doesn't say F you and leave. Again, it's either rebuild, blow it up, or go be aggressive with the way you structure the contract, and it probably means you have to pay him, which we will break down on today's show. But first, today's show is made possible by Tushy. You're going, what on earth is Tom talking about? Deep down, I think we all know that using toilet paper alone leaves nasty and smelly bacteria behind on our butts. Tushy has finally made the number 2 cleanup more hygienic and better for the environment. You can now have a fresh stream of water, the same water as your sink or shower, to clean up your bum after every poop. Tushy's bidets are easy to set up on any toilet. In under 10 minutes, you can set up your at-home bidet. It will change your life forever. I am not kidding. It is an awesome, life-changing product, and it feels better than just toilet paper, by the way. Every Tushy bidet comes with a 30-day hassle-free return and a 12-month warranty. It's risk-free to join the over 3 million real pooping humans who have made the switch to a cleaner and more confident butt. Get that fresh out of the shower feeling at hellotushy.com/chat. For a limited time, you guys get 10% off your entire order when you use code CHAT at checkout. That's 10% off your entire order at hellotushy.com/chat with promo code CHAT. Back that ass up with confidence. Elite sponsor. Now, back to Dak Prescott here. What exactly does a Dak deal look like? My short answer is I'm actually not sure. So let's break down the viable options here for the Cowboys. Path number 1 is, oh boy, Dak / his agent, both, some combination, whatever, are playing hardball because Dak Prescott is in a very unique and frankly unheard of position. He is 1 season away from being a second team in his prime all-pro quarterback to reach free agency. That does not happen. Regardless of the playoff success, that stuff does not happen to quarterbacks. And there's a long line of teams who be like, yeah, he's better than our guy. Let's go make that happen. And several teams will be desperate enough to break the bank in a bigger way than it's been done so far at the quarterback spot. So contract idea number 1 basically follows a similar average rate of increase for all these other quarterbacks in the last 4 times the salary cap the quarterbacks have been paid. You know, Burrow, Lamar, Hurts, and Jackson, right? So the numbers look like this. It's a lot of money. Sticker shock, I know. I'd say it's a 4-year deal, which Dak and Todd France wanted last time. $230 million total, $58 million per year, with the guaranteed figure at $186. Now, you can go up and down a little bit as required there. What matters for this team is, I was doing a lot of math on the structuring last night. I was up for hours doing how would the year-by-year cap hit break down? If you structured it in a way I think the Cowboys would, your next 3 years of cap hits would be under $40 million, which is very feasible and far more in line with what the other top quarterbacks are going to be getting. That's not actually that bad. There's sticker shock, I know, at the $58 million per year tag, but $40 million per year with the way the salary cap has gone up isn't actually too terrible. And again, quarterbacks as good as Dak, even with the blame he deserves for the playoff mishaps of late, these guys don't hit the open market. It doesn't happen. Like Kirk Cousins had never won a playoff game. But one of them when he hit the open market and got a fully guaranteed deal. Deshaun Watson had served a de facto suspension, was out of football for a year, and got the most ridiculous quarterback contract in history because he was basically a free agent. Teams traded so many picks for him too. Dak's better than both those guys. So be honest with me here. Where do you rank Dak among NFL quarterbacks? It's somewhere in that top 10 range. And that's how the market works. Dak has all of the leverage in these negotiations. Now, the ideal option, of course, is option 2. And Dak says, I love the Cowboys. I'm going to take less, hopefully with a clause in his contract that says the extra money must go to outside free agents. Wouldn't that be nice? The number 2 idea here is a little bit longer term, which the Cowboys have always liked, and less average per year money. Basically, this is the Jalen Hurts deal. This is last year's quarterback contract market rate. The Cowboys love to offer this. They do it for all their players. If Dak takes this deal, he has taken less. It might not seem like it because it's $255 million, $51 million per year. It is less. Option 3 is find the middle ground. Again, I don't have a great feel for how this will actually end up going. Maybe we'll learn more once we're up at the combine, but by then, the deal should kind of be winding down, frankly. The highest paid quarterback is $55 million. Can you make arguments that Joe Burrow, Herbert, Lamar, Hurts are better than Dak? Absolutely. Those first 3 guys, I think, are better than your current quarterback, by the way. But Russell makes 49. Kyler makes 46. Deshaun makes 46. Dak is undisputably better than those 2 quarterbacks. So I don't really see there's any way he takes less. If you are lucky, he takes $51 million per year. That's him doing you a favor. And again, I get the sticker shock. That is big, big money. However, it's not actually all that different than what it was when Dak signed the $40 million deal. You got to look at things as the percentage of the salary cap, right? And the salary cap in the past 4 years has skyrocketed, right? It is now up to $242.5 million. It's gone up by around $20 million the last couple of seasons. 24, by the way, is a projection, so maybe it's off by a little bit. But think about it this way. That $40 million per year figure was about 22% of the 2021 salary cap. And again, you backload the deal, so you're not paying that figure on the actual cap. But the per year rate of the salary cap when signed was about 22%. You know what about 22% of the 2024 cap is? About $54 million. So the rough deal that you'd be giving Prescott is the same. It's just bigger because the salary cap is bigger. By the way, $60 million is just under 25% of the 2024 salary cap. Is a 2 to 3% raise against the cap actually going to destroy your team? Is that going to be, we can't do anything now? No, I don't think that's the case. Does it mean somebody else gets cut? Sure. But again, we're talking, you just don't keep Jordan Lewis, right? Like that's kind of where you're at. You restructure somebody else instead. So it is actually very doable and not that different than the previous year's contracts. Now, we will have more Cowboys videos for you here each and every single day on the channel. So if you haven't already, please make sure you guys are subscribed. If and when Dak gets a new deal, we will break it down for you. In the end, I don't really know what happens here. I know the Cowboys say they want to. They said that for years and did not get a deal done with Dak because they were never offering what the current market rate was. The talks were not good last time. And again, the one of the impetus for finally doing it was Sean Payton said, hey, are you going to keep Dak? If not, I want to trade for him. And then it was, okay, we'll get the deal done. Dak has the leverage here because you as an organization screwed up the last time. He has a no-tag clause, basically, and a no-trade clause. He's a year away from being a free agent in his prime after a second-team All-Pro. That doesn't happen. Never happens in almost any position, let alone quarterback. So will he do you a favor and take less? I'm not going to get my hopes up. And if you want to win right now, this is your best option. Or you can blow it up and rebuild. What I would do, I don't want to rebuild. We can't handle a loss in the regular season or even we can't handle 5 losses in the regular season. How are we going to handle 5 wins in a regular season? We're going to lose our damn minds. I would be aggressive, and I would try to win in a 2, 3, 4, 5, however many years it actually is window, and then I would blow it up. Then I would reset and rebuild, and I'll take my dead cap hit for a year. It takes me 2 years maximum to turn around my books. That's it. Would the Cowboys do that, though? I don't know. Now, I honestly don't think, as long as Jerry Jones is alive, I don't think he wants to rebuild. So I've laid it out as best I possibly could. Hopefully you guys appreciated it. What would you do with Dak Prescott? P for you'd pay him. D for you'd dump him, and again, I would argue, rebuild. Or do N for nothing. Give him that, restructure and make it the prove-it year and risk everything being even worse in 2025. Vote for me in the comments section.